Okay, so I'm pretty sure we found the shadiest place in this whole working space, and I figured we should record a vlog in it. So hello, this video is about the unreleased attempted tracks for Move or Die. This means that when we were working on the game, we were looking for a composer to help us with music. So in the process of doing that, we made a Reddit post on Reddit saying that we're looking for musicians and composers that could help us with music for Move or Die. And in the end, I think 24 or more musicians applied, and they made basically what is a sample track for Move or Die based on some gameplay footage without any audio in it. And those sample tracks were pretty cool, and based on those we made the final pick, but more on that later. The point is, all those tracks were never released, and I think it's really cool to make them public because I really love showing behind the scenes development things that would never see the light of day otherwise. This is what got me interested in game development, and I figured I should try to encourage the same things that got me interested in making games. And I think it's really cool to see what the soundtrack of Move or Die could have been if we've picked a different musician. So what you're about to hear is a few of my favorite tracks out of all those sample tracks, and I've also made an album with all of them that you can find in the description below for free. So yeah, I don't have any appropriate footage to show while the songs will be playing, but yesterday I rented the camera that I want to buy, so I figured I'm just going to record random things throughout the day and overlap that footage with the songs. I've also added the musician's email in the bottom of the video as the songs play, so if you're thinking about contacting them and potentially work together, go ahead, please do so. And here's the first song. So that was made by Eric Benaim, and I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing these names right. And it sounded like it would fit a version of Move or Die that would have a campaign mode to it, not like rapid fire minigames. Also, if you go in the description to the album and download the entire song, there's like an insane slap bass later on that really reminds me of Jazz Jackrabbit, which is awesome. Next song. That one was made by Masked Epsilon, and I really loved the bursts of low frequency samples that they sounded like really powerful, and that was awesome. But the melody feels a little bit undercooked and out of place. So yeah, we didn't end up picking him. However, that was made by Chris Kukla, and that one had really awesome bass and it was very funky overall. It really feels like it would fit Move or Die if it was set in the 70s, but maybe that's just me. And you know what I'm gonna say. Alec Shee. Okay, so this one sounded very raw and glitchy, maybe a little bit too much so. It was a bit too electronic for Move or Die's gameplay. So yeah, next song. That one was made by Matt Oglesby. It was a pretty good song overall with a good melody and also good mastering, but it sounded a bit too cartoony for Move or Die, and I really wanted to stay away from cartoony feeling soundtracks because that might have been a bit too much. Rafael Giordano. This one feels like it's about a Move or Die spin-off about a private detective. Isn't it? I mean, come on. Jack Chapman. Now, this was one of my favorites because it had a proper vocoder sound to it, which is something that I was looking for in Move or Die soundtrack, and I really freaking love vocoders because they sound so cool. It was super catchy. The trumpets might have been a little bit overkill, but I still really liked it. However, the next one I like even more. Sadly, in this one, the composer asked me not to name him, so I can't tell you who he is. However, I really like this song because it's the only one with a proper Western slide guitar, and it really reminds me of things like Firefly, Breaking Bad, and Bastion, which is awesome. It's like a combination of all three, like if only Move or Die's soundtrack was that. Okay, so those were some of my favorite tracks, and I'm gonna end on the track made by the composer that we ended up working with for the final Move or Die soundtrack. His name is Jacob Lynch. So for his track, I'm going to play the entire thing, and I basically knew right away that that's the track I wanted to pick because it gave me instant goosebumps. It has a really cool build-up, and it has the exact precise amount of epicness to it. And you can tell how much I love this one because the final in-game soundtrack isn't very different from this sample track. Again, if you're interested in all of these tracks, there's a link in the description to a Bandcamp album with all of them there. It's completely free. So yeah, without any further ado, Jacob Lynch. Okay, cool, so we're done filming. I'm just gonna go turn off the lights now, which has a very simple mechanism of turning off lights.